Welcome to Dark Sorcery. I'm Alfredo Martinez, and with me I have the one and only Juan Goma. Juan, it's good to have you on.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. So now for the Dark Sorcery subscribers who may not know who you are, go ahead and tell us how you got started in Magic.
Man, it's been a long journey, but I just I started working with Lucifer first. You know, like it was I was raised Catholic, Roman Catholic, um, hardcore family. They're still to the day. You know, they're very um so always it always got my attention. The word Lucifer. The word Lucifer. Right now, you can't even say Lucifer in the South. Because they'll get
Right now,
frightened.
you can't even what you say.
You can't even say the name Lucifer.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. So, uh, but yeah. I mean, when I started, it was mostly by working with Lucifer Raquel. You know,
Okay.
it's
Mm-hmm.
what it's what he's the one that started me into the whole magical practice per se, into getting into the void, into jumping into opening your third eye, and 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 getting to go to other places, get it,
Mm-hmm.
that's I have to say Lucifer Raphael, he's the one that they got me. It was the second energy that I started working with too,
Mm-hmm.
other
Okay.
than Lucifer, and from there I just took off, man. I just started. I'm talking about this is probably like uh a little over 7 years ago, you know.
Okay.
Because before that I was just devoted. I was like devoted to like Satanist, I was like hell Satan and all that stuff. Very
So
very
you mean like a Levian Satanist? Is that what you were about before?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
very Levian. Dude. Like I was into Anton LaVey's uh his philosophy per se, like and then I stumbled upon some books though. I stumbled upon some grimoires. I don't know if you ever heard of a grimoire called El Libro de San Cipriano.
No, I haven't.
No, yeah, that's a very good one, man.
Hmm.
For your viewers, they gotta check that out. It's a very good book. It also relies on it kind of goes to the Solomonic kind of practices because it's supposed to be from those times.
Hmm.
And so I stumbled upon that one, and the Satanic Bible. So that's how I was before. When I started the magical practice like a little 7.5 years ago, and I just started. I didn't know at first. I didn't know anything that there was that any other demons existed, or that any other entities or energies. It was mostly just Lucifer, me, and Lucifer. That's it. You know, that's all I knew. And so I didn't know the Goetias and all that stuff. Like I would read about like certain things, but didn't know exactly what they were. So,
Hmm.
so yeah,
Okay.
that's how I became about the magical practice per se, like that what
Now,
got me
go ahead.
into fixing, into messing into messing with my with my way with my and with how to manipulate my own path wherever I needed to go.
Right.
That's what started. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So from there, you kind of branched out and started experimenting with other magic, other deities, and it kind of became, kind of eclectic, kind of your own type of thing going on, which, is
Yep.
similar to how I was because, I started with the Satanic Bible and, and then I branched out from there as well. Now, I remember watching some of your videos, and you said that you grew up a lot with knowing about the Mexican magic, or because you know, growing up in a Mexican household, a Spanish household, you know, you hear things
Yep.
like you know, little superstitions your grandmother throws around,
Yep.
you know, and so you grew up
Yep.
that would you say that kind of molded you into your path?
Yes, yes. It's like all these superstitions were kind of like like you didn't want to believe them, but then my grandma would be like, you know what? Uh, eat that tortilla that's burnt. Uh, eat the one that's burnt, so they don't do witchcraft. We're like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so nobody does witchcraft. Para que no te hagan brujería, cómete la tortilla quemada, you know. And so I would eat it, you know, and I would eat it, and these are things that come from my grandfather
Hmm.
because he was a medicine. He's a curandero, you know, and over there
Okay.
in Michoacan, Mexico, and so he taught her uh, a lot of things, you know. He taught her a lot of things, and she would always like tell us, you know, she was very Catholic in some way, but whenever something bad would happen at the house, or somebody would hear something, or somebody saw spirit, somebody saw a shadow, or somebody saw something,
Yeah.
she would start tossing fucking underwear to the sky, and then saying some fucking invocations, some conjurations of some sort, you know, getting salt. And I'm like thinking, I was young, I was like, hey, this is not in the Bible.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
know what I mean?
Start putting two and two
So
together.
she
You're
didn't.
like, wait a
They didn't want to say it. You know, they didn't want us to follow the bloodline. I think, and so, but she couldn't hold back because a lot of little things that would happen, she would just boom pop something up. You know, like, oh, this, do this. No, okay. Right now, when the tortillas are burning, you know, why is it so smoky in here? Like she'll get a flap. You know, she'll get like a paper and
uh-huh.
start flapping the whole smoke all over the house. He's like, I'm saging, I'm cleansing out for bad spirits and this and that. I'm like, oh shit. So you know, you used to smoke from when the tortillas burn. So I was like, okay.
Right.
So yeah, so I grew up seeing all this stuff, you know, and that was my grandma's favorite. So she just fucking let herself out and tell me everything, you know, a lot of
Uh-huh.
things that I never thought I would ever use. But now as I'm older, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
and I'm doing
Now,
this, I'm like, oh shit.
now it comes in handy.
Now I'm the one. Yeah, it comes in handy, you know, like okay. So yeah, man, that's the way. That's how it is.
That's cool, man. So
That's how it was.
what would you say was your first moment in magic where you realized, oh, holy shit, this is real? Like you were amazed at the magic that you see unfolding before you. Or tell us about an experience where that you first started to realize through your own magic, wow, this is really real.
Man, it's kind of explicit, but I'm gonna have to tell you because you already asked me so. This is kind of explicit, but you know what? Hey, I've already told my girlfriend too like this story, but um, well, one of my exes, you know, uh, the I don't want to say the mother of one of my kids, but you know, yeah, one of them. Um, we split up, right? We split up, and we were living in the same apartment, but I was staying in one room with my son, and she would stay in another room with her daughter, and until I could leave, you know, get out, right? Because we had already split up, and uh, and so um you know, I was kind of like shit. You know, I wanted to leave already, you know, but I was looking for a place so I can get out, you know, and one day, you know, one day we were both in the kitchen, and I thought she gave me a signal. She gave me a sign like, okay, hey, what's up? And kind of like, I'm like, okay, oh shit, I'm gonna probably get some, you know, and she gave me that sign, and like I felt like she gave me that sign, but I was wrong, you know. And I thought she did, so I got kind of close, and I started like, you know, trying to like, you know, start something, and she stops me. It gets so angry. She drops everything. She's like, I told you I'm not like that because she wanted to be a nun or just dedicated to church before I came in the picture. And she's like, you know, I'm not like that. Stop fucking touching me, this and that. Like, she talked to me. She talked to me like when when your mom, goes off at you in front of your best friends, dude, in front of your friends, and gives you like a kid, like
Right.
a fucking, you feel like a kid with like, oh man, I just got fucking yelled at, and so I felt kind of like that. I was like, so that started turning into anger during that same day. Started turning into anger. And I was already practicing, but like not doing anything. I was just kind of trying to connect, trying to like meditate, do rituals for myself just to see what I felt and who if they would come through. And
Right.
I had this spell called what was it called? Somebody gave it to me and said the all purpose pentacle spell. And I just thought it was silly. I was like, okay, let me just try this. Let me just try this. Because nobody's gonna be talking to me like that. So it's kind of pissed me. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I go in the bathroom. I start fucking drawing the pentacle, and I do everything, and I say that duration. I lit up a couple, even just if they were just tea light candles. I didn't even have candles. So I just like, lit them up and started reciting this. But I was already emotional in the way that there was emotion, like that emotion of, feeling stupid because I got yelled at, but
Hmm.
at the same time it turning into anger.
Hmm.
So so I put a lot of emotion into the spell. So when I said it, I was just reciting it, and I was like, I finished, closed it, turned the candles off. It tells you to fold it into a little paper. She wasn't at home at the time, so I went and I put it under her pillow,
Okay.
and I just left it there. Well, I forgot that I even did that during the day. I went and had some. I took my son out, but we were, we took him to the park. I remember what we did. I came back at night, and to go to sleep. I would just come back to go to sleep. I didn't even want to be at the house, So I came back to go to bed. Um, and like at 12 o'clock, I get the message. Hey, I'm sorry about earlier. Do you still want to do that? I was like, dude, and believe me, anybody that knows this woman, she's fucking cold, cold. Like a very, very. If she says no, that's it. Boom, that's it. You're done. She doesn't want it. She doesn't want anything to do with anybody. She's just that type of person.
Right.
And and so right there and then it just clicked. It just clicked me like oh shit, you know.
Hmm.
Could it be? Could it be? It started one of those things like you kind of like you don't know if that was it or that
You
was
try to
not. But
second guess
I was
yourself,
like,
but then you realize, and it comes,
yeah,
it comes as a bunch of coincidence, what seems like coincidences, but you made it happen.
yes, and then yeah, and then the rest is it's I can't it's explicit. I can't say it. No, I mean the rest is just we it ended up happening, and so I did that spell like 10 more times until there was a moment where I started noticing her that every time we go because okay in the apartment building that we lived in the bottom floor and in the
Right.
top floor that was my other apartment that I had with my parents.
Okay.
So so every we would go to my parents to upstairs to my parents' apartment. They were not here. They were in Mexico. So we go up there. But every time we would come back down, there was a certain point to where we like in the middle of the building where she would cross or we would cross, and then she started walking kind of like confused, scratching her head like, what just happened? You can tell the confusion in her head, like, what just fucking happened? Why am
Mm.
I doing this? Kind of like in kind of way. To a point that she had to move from there. she, she had to move like further away, from me and stuff. But that was one of the moments that I noticed that I was like, holy shit, I can do this. I can do this. And then another quick one was I needed a loan. I think I said this in some other interview. I needed money to pay certain things that I was backed up on. Um, and I went into this ritual with with Lucifer, but I just not asking him for money, just asking him if this is real, just help me. It's just a loan. I'm not asking you to give it to me. I'm just because I like to talk to myself and to the entities. Like I talk to them like if I'm talking to you right now, like, hey dude, but this is like I feel like I can
Yeah,
talk to them like
that's
that.
good.
Kind of
Yeah.
and so I went into I talked to him and he the money that I owed was exactly $3,700.
Okay.
So I did this ritual. Well, the next day I get a call that I was approved for a 3,700 and something, the same fucking amount. How can you do? How can that happen?
You
How do you? How can that
approved
happen?
for a loan, huh?
Yeah, for approved for a loan, and then but at the same time I was skeptical because I was like, I'm gonna go to the place, and they always ask you for they ask you for let's say a cosigner or then they ask you for a paper that you don't have and you end up leaving fucking with nothing from there, so I still went skeptical, like I'm like, they probably won't give you shit. I went there and I ended up leaving with $5,000 because I approved for more at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was another one right there. And then I'm not one to be asking for things for things. I like more to like, just connect and be thankful. When I was young, yeah, I was younger. I was fucking reckless. I just wanted to have anything that I could have my hands on and stuff. But you start changing with time. You start realizing that magic has to be used wisely, and there's a lot of energy that we use. There's things that you know you can mess with. It can backfire. There's little things that you don't know when you're young that
Right.
now you see it and you're like now you think twice. Now you think twice and you're like, hey, no, I
Hmm.
gotta I gotta I gotta
Yeah.
calm down here.
Once you start studying magic, then you truly realize how energy works, and then you can go from there.
Yep,
You know. But
yep.
what would you say are some occult books that inspired you and helped you along the way,
I
besides
would have to
the
say,
grimoire that you had mentioned?
yeah. The one that I'd always used as a magical uh, uh, book for me that I could say, you know what, I used a lot of things from this book, and I bought it from Michael W. Ford. It's Luciferian Witchcraft.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that was one of my first magic books that more modern per se, than the classic grimoires. That I could say, you know what, this book had a lot of things. This book it has so much stuff that you
It's a
never
big
thought
book.
you would
Yeah.
use. It's a fat ass book like that. So
Yeah, it
and
is. I
and
have a copy of that, and it is a good book. I enjoy it.
yep, there's the transforming into animals, all that stuff, all those spells, all those little things that it teaches you, and then there's the Lucifuge evocation there that I love so much,
Hmm.
and so so I think that book was one of them.
Hmm.
Um, what other book can I tell you? That really got me going. Another one from Michael W. Ford. I really like Apotheosis. I think I think it's a good book, especially if you're. I would recommend to people if they want to start, if they want to initiate themselves in the Luciferianism, because it's got every detail. You read all the kind of like the instructions, kind of like instruction manual, but at the end it gives you the ritual, that you have to follow, and and you do it, and you start feeling this. You start kind of like, if you really do it to the T, how it's telling
Mm.
you get you get that feeling, you know. Another one that got me going was uh but you know, just apart from the restraining and of Lucifuge, was the Red Dragon, you know,
Red
the
Dragon.
Grimoire, the Red
You
Dragon.
mean you mean Dragon of the Two Flames, or is this another book?
No, the Red Dragon, that classic Grimoire, the Grimoire, you know, the Red
Oh,
Dragon
okay,
with
okay.
Lucifuge
I
at the
thought you were
front.
still talking
You
about
know, it's a tiny book like that. You know, it's a tiny book
right.
like that, but
Okay.
it's not. But that book is very good too. It's very
Mm.
good. It's a very good grimoire. I just don't like the fact. I just don't like how they restrain, you know, the spirit, how they restrain. And it's Lucifer. Come on, you
Yeah.
want to, you know, get him with the with that lightning rod. Lightning rod. If he doesn't give you something, it's just like, it's kind of stupid. But it is a good book though. You know, it's a good book.
Okay.
That's why I got the Michael Ford. I got the Michael Ford version. You know, because it's a little more. You know, he puts things in a little more. You know, he uses other
He'll
energies
break it down a little
to.
more, and then has excellent scholarship and reveals all his sources. I got this from this and
Yep.
this, so you can go back and
Yep.
verify. Yeah, I definitely see what you mean. Um, now
Yep.
I know you're big into singing and music, and you dedicate
Yep.
certain songs to deities, right?
I did.
And
I
and
did.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your
No,
music
go ahead.
ties in with spirituality.
Look, my music. When I was younger, it wasn't so much about that. But it was more of a. We were more like a kind of like a Green Day, but in rock en español, because we were a Spanish rock band in
Right.
California. And but it was different. It was different. I wasn't really so much into mixing the occult practice with the music.
Mm.
Because I'm a songwriter too. You know, I write songs. You know, if somebody asks me, hey, can you write a corrido for me? I'll write it down. I don't like that, but I'll write it down. If they
Right.
tell me, can you make me a reggaeton song? I know how to make it. It's not my style of music, but I can make it. So I also produce. You know, also produce other artists. And but when it comes to my music, like when I did one of my uh, um, uh, last albums, when I was signed to a label called Machine Man Records.
Hmm.
It's called the Dark Monarch. It's called the Dark Monarch. I'll send you a link so you can listen to it. It's an amazing
Okay.
album.
All right.
Um, it's my pride and joy. It's my pride and joy. It's industrial alternative kind of rock, kind of Nine Inch Nails kind of stuff and
Okay.
everything like that. So,
I like that sound.
but
Yeah.
but that album, yeah, that album took me um the whole COVID thing, you know, kind of like the whole COVID situation.
Hmm.
Like I was stuck in the studio working on this album, you know. So there's a lot of things in there. I don't know. I'm not always writing. I'm not writing about demons. There's a song called "Pray for Me" that I wrote for Lucifer, and there's a song that I dedicated to the LHP in general called "Star Power," which
Okay.
I'm which I'm talking about the inverted pentagram, but I'm talking about, you know, how uh, how how it can be used, and I add a lot of things in there, like, you know, um, um like the realms. Like I add goddesses. I add stuff like that. You know, I don't mention the names, but I just add things that came to mind at the time.
Mm.
Um, so it's only those two songs that talk about the LHP per se. Um, the rest of the songs, um, if you listen closely, there's rituals, there's spells, there's invocations, even in reverse. You know, like
Okay. Okay.
I would record something. Yes, I would record something. You know, like uh, like something like, let's say, um, a veces con más Luciferi Excelsi, whatever, something like that, you know?
Okay.
And then I would put it on reverse and but then I would put it in so you don't know what's going on because it loses you lose it in between the guitars,
Uh-huh.
but you can you can hear it, and if somebody was to play it, not backwards but forwards, you'll be able to tell what I'm saying. So yes, I'm gonna say it openly right now. I put subliminal messages on my music, guys.
That's cool, man. I like that. Not a lot of artists do that, That's cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, and then
Go ahead. You were gonna say something else.
no, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so I
No,
was
no,
just
no.
gonna say, just for the hell of it, what are some of your favorite bands? I know you're very passionate about music.
Yeah, dude. Fuck. Nine Inch Nails. I just said it right now.
Okay.
Um, Nine Inch Nails. you know, all the first albums.
Hmm.
Um, I like some Marilyn Manson. I was big on Marilyn Manson too. Um, but my music styles vary, dude. They vary. If you see the album that I'm doing right now, it's a covers album. I'm doing covers because I wanted to make covers on my own style. So I mean, I got songs from like Bill Withers, Ain't No Sunshine. I got
Hmm.
songs from the Ramones. I got a song from Green Day. I got a song from so I get these songs and I wanted to add my own sound into them. So so it's a mix of stuff because sometimes it's not even just exactly a band, but sometimes a song can influence me. Just one song can influence me. It can be a part of the soundtrack of my life. I'm like,
Right.
okay, this is a badass fucking song, and I want to keep it forever. And I want to use the song for something. Like for instance, I've always said it. I'm not a fan of the Ramones, but I love that song "Sedated." You know, I
Hmm.
want to be sedated. That's one of my favorite songs, and it's like, and that song makes me not a fan of the Ramones, but a fan of that song. So
I
so
see what
that's also included in you know what I mean? Like it's just that sometimes it can only be like one song, like one song that
you.
just really like touched you and you're like, okay, I fucking love that song, and but yeah, bands like those and I listen to a lot of rock in español,
Okay.
um, uh, a lot of Spanish rock bands, um, and I also play cumbias, man. Play cumbias and I played
Oh, I
mariachi
love
music. That's
cumbia.
all. That's all. I love that's all. That was also messing with you earlier. I'm gonna put my mariachi suit and I'll be ready.
Hell
But
yeah,
I
man.
did play. I did play a little bit of mariachi too, but I play cumbias. I play bass. Where they have family members have bands where where
Yeah.
where they play in parties, and sometimes they need a fill in. I don't play with them no more. But like, hey, we need you for a gig. We got a quinceañera or we got a party here or there. I'm like, how much? All right, let's do it. So and I'm playing Juan like boom, boom. What I mean? Like I'll play like whatever. So it's like it's easy music and I like it. I like cumbia. So I like playing that music.
Yeah,
It's
man.
just
And I
it brings you can make it too happy, dude. Tell me if this ever happened to you, but like you're driving, dude. He's driving and there's a red light. There's a song that you like and you're hoping for a fucking red light to be red, you know. And there's moments where you just want to fucking get off and dance a little bit, or you feel like you're gonna combust if you don't fucking dance a
you
little bit
don't
and go
move.
back in the car.
Yeah, that happens to me too. Yeah, I can relate. And I
No,
check out your IG and I see you doing cover songs on there too. So that's pretty cool. So
yeah, yeah,
but
those are the cover songs I was doing.
right on, man. And so for the viewers who are watching, Juan has a Facebook group called the Shadow Zone, which first
Yes.
of all, it's popping in that group. I like scrolling through it. And then he's also got a show where he does Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays in that group called the Shadow Zone. In fact, I'm going to be a guest on it sometime soon. So be
Yep.
looking out for that, and I will make an announcement when I am going to be on that. Yeah, everybody who's watching in the video description below, I'll have a link to the Shadow Zone and to his IG. You can check out his links and give those a follow. I encourage you to join his Facebook group. And so yeah, Juan, it's been great talking to you, man. Thanks again for coming on.
Thank you, dude. Thanks a lot, dude.
You're welcome, and
Thank you, dude.
everybody who's watching, like and subscribe to Dark Sorcery.
Yep.